Well, when you were sharing just now, I was thinking about sponsorship for some reason. That came to mind because hearing someone else talk about the things that I kept secret was the first step in me being able to like open up and talk about all these things that I had in my deep, dark basement of despair, you know, and embarrassment. You know, I thought that a lot of the things that I was doing behind closed doors was really abnormal. And it turned out that a lot of people were doing those things, you know. And one of the things I think people struggle with talking about openly is sexuality and trauma, you know, the things that have happened to us and the things that we've done to ourselves. But having somebody else talk about their own experience before we talk about our experience is really helpful to know that I'm not alone, you know. And so my sponsor opened up to me and started telling me about stuff, even to the point where, you know, I remember the guy that got me sober, he's dead now, but I'll never forget, you know, he felt responsible for the death of a person. And in that, you know, he took advantage of this girl who had a lot of money. She came into a lot of money, and she got with him and wanted to buy a large amount of cocaine and a large amount of heroin, and he did that for her, right? And because he was able to get that kind of quantity, she commenced to use with him. You know, he used with her, used up, you know, and it was like a pound of each. It was like quite a bit.
Wow.
And, they just partied, and she eventually died off of that that particular buy, right? Like the amount of drugs that he bought that time with her. She died and overdosed and died from it, and he felt responsible for it. And I thought, you know, I don't have anything like that in my life. You know, I don't have a story like that, but he fucking straight owned that. You know?
Right.
He was able to talk about it, and through owning that, taking the responsibility for something so big, he was able to like heal from it and then share it with a guy like me, who helped me open up to him and start exploring, you know, like what are some of these things that I'm keeping secret and keeping hidden, that I'm embarrassed of, that I don't need to be embarrassed of, or that I'm holding on to that I don't need to hold on to, you know. And, you know, for me, a lot of those things were like stealing from my mom, you know.
Right.
Like straight sneaking into her room while she was sleeping and fucking stealing money out of her purse right next to her bed. And her having to keep her purse next to her bed because fucking anywhere else in the house I would steal out of it. And like, that's embarrassing for me.
It's embarrassing. And is the first time that you owned up to that, like through the 12-step process and with your sponsor?
The very first time that I spoke about it was when I was in treatment at 24.
Okay.
But that wasn't the last time I stole from her.
Right. Yeah.
You know, but, you know, I opened up with this guy this last time on everything. Right. And cause I thought I was just fucking broken. You know, I just thought I was fucked up, man. And I didn't think sobriety was going to happen to me unless I did get transparent about all these things. And most of the things that I brought up, he was like, yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Yep.
Yeah, me too. And this, you know,